Good morning. Welcome, everyone. In the spirit of time and respecting your time, we're going to kick off. We know there's many of you still joining, but welcome and thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Bridget Theron, and I am the Managing Director of Impactful, powered by LRMG. And we are a really proud Black woman-owned run IT learning and skills provider. What we pride ourselves on is really helping organizations and individuals thrive in a disruptive digital era. And as someone who's been part of the impactful LRMG journey for many years, I'm truly excited to share this moment with you. So joining me today is Chelsea Dowd from Questionmark and Tyson Raghunath, who's Impactful's Executive Head of EdTech and essentially the lead for Questionmark. So today we are also celebrating the partnership between Impactful and Questionmark. Essentially for the last 17 years, we've been trusted by clients across South Africa and Africa to deliver world-class assessment solutions. And some of you have been with us from the very beginning. So your support means a lot to us. So why does this matter? And why would we host such an event today? We all know that South African businesses face unique challenges, whether it's closing work readiness skills gaps, meeting compliance needs, or simply helping teams grow. That's why our partnership is focused fully on local positioning, local support. We're here in South Africa, ready to help you with services that fit your needs and local requirements. We provide affordable options at scale, regardless of the size of your business, because we really do understand budgets. And we offer flexible pricing so that everyone can benefit. But most importantly, we're really keen on upskilling at scale. So we want to help your teams learn and succeed, no matter how big or small your environment is. So what you'll get out of today's session is we're going to be positioning Questionmark's secure AI-powered platform and Impactful's experience in helping people perform at their best so that you can meet your business compliance standards, you can measure your team's skills against global standards, and get practical insights to help your business grow. I'm truly proud to be part of a team that's helping South African companies succeed in a digital world. And thank you for being with us here today. I look forward to what we can achieve together. And with that, I'd love to hand over to Chelsea.
Perfect. Thanks, Bridget. Can you hear me okay? Fantastic. So I'm just going to go ahead. And of course, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for the introduction, Bridget. In terms of the agenda today, obviously, first of all, it's great to be with you all. I'm joining here from London. I'm the business development manager at Questionmark. I've been with Questionmark for around 6 years now, and I international partners, and obviously, as Bridget mentioned, we have a long-standing partnership with Impactful. And in terms of keeping, we are recording, and we do have a dedicated Q&A at the end. So please post any questions in the chat and we'll be sure to pick those up. There is also a survey at the very end of the session, so please stick with me until that survey slide. Now, before we dive in, let's see if that chat box is working. Can everyone type in where they're joining us from? As I mentioned, I'm based in a crisp, cold London this morning. What about all of you? I see we have some in the chat from Joburg, Cape Town, Blackpool. Fantastic. Perfect. That's definitely working. Now, in terms of agenda, for those of you that aren't familiar with Learnosity or Questionmark, I'll give an overview of who we are, what we do. Then we'll jump into why impactful AI, pardon the pun, must be human-centered and what it really means in practice. And we'll highlight some real-world use cases, explain how some of our clients are adopting these assessments and how AI has impacted or changed their strategies. Then I'll show you some live demos, bringing you through what we've released recently in authoring to utilize AI for content creation, and also how to mark, grade, or score essays with our AI scoring tool, and also a sneak peek into the future and some areas around some AI question checking and validation. So as mentioned, as we go through this, please feel free to put all of your questions in the chat and we'll have a dedicated Q&A session at the end. So just to highlight before we jump into the topic at hand, obviously I want to highlight who we are in terms of organisation. Our Learnosity are focused on assessment and assessment technology, and we are a global leader in assessment solutions. So Learnosity Questionmark back in 2021, but Questionmark itself is over 30 years old. And as Bridget mentioned, we have a long-standing partnership and we've been serving clients globally in many industries from finance, insurance, transportation, pharma, etc. Is the end-to-end solution suite designed for L&D certification programs to help boost performance, demonstrate results, and ensure high security and highly auditable assessment environments. And in terms of the clients that we support globally to help with mitigating risks and threats and associated with audit checking for regulatory compliance. And we also help to prove job readiness by assessing skills and competencies for workforce learning. And additionally, we also help with, pre-post training assessments to help understand strengths and weaknesses of your employees. We also help provide badges and certificates for certifications. And of course, also talent management, onboarding. And lastly, higher education. We serve many universities globally when it comes to testing students throughout and at the end for formative and summative learning. Now, across our organization, we deliver assessments at scale. So as mentioned, we have many clients, over 750 customers total, and we deliver 20 billion with a B questions per year to over 40 states worldwide. So some great numbers there to prove that, we have the knowledge and the expertise. And as a result, we are really in a good position with a bird's eye view of all of these industries and the role that assessment plays and how specifically good assessments play across all industries. So in terms of the introductions, obviously we've got explanations over. I'm excited to dig into all things AI and what good assessments actually looks like, and also how Questionmark can enable this. Why do AI tools have to be human-centered? Now, this is really, really key. And what do we mean by human-centered? So at its highest level, when we think of AI, it is generative. So it doesn't inherently know what good looks like. It's just what is with or existing data or past data. And it doesn't have a moral compass. So when lots of backlash in terms of AI being, too positive or being everyone's hype person at the moment, when it's even confronted with some terrible ideas, for example. And AI specifically, without integration, it exists in the wrong place. So it's at arm's length from the tasks you want to do. So for example, having a ChatGPT window open here or a Gemini window open there, you really need to focus on having a holistic and integrated approach so that it's actually fitting with the workflows that you're desiring to look for. And it obviously has widely varying results. So it can give drastically different outputs or viewpoints based on marginally different inputs or prompts. So it really does have a vast scale. And lastly, of course, the outcome is only really as good as the starting point that you give it. So obviously, you can throw content and any other role with your organization, you can throw AI at them. And if anything is, if they're having to utilize unfiltered and sorry, I'm just checking that my audio connection is okay. I'll just switch my video off just in case. Can you hear me okay? I'll just check the chat. Fantastic. So as I mentioned, lastly, AI is only as the outcome is only as good as the starting point that you give it. So, you really need to look for consistently good outcomes. If you're just chucking unfiltered, unshaped, unintegrated AI at your content creators and trainers, it would be like trying to, fly a kite in a hurricane. It's very risky, with little chance of success. You need to give them a holistic and integrated workflow to guarantee success. And of Questionmark specifically, and we address this. So we enable our clients to achieve, obviously, assessment efficiency and security. So we help to eliminate manual and time-consuming assessment creation by having AI-driven authoring and grading for speed. So we aim to help your trainers, professors, etc., really be able to utilize their time and easily create great content. And we also provide a secure and defensible way to produce these assessments that can help with compliance and audits, etc., because security really is top of mind. Additionally, we help with actionable insights and reporting. So we want to help you to showcase, data-driven decision-making by providing rich analytics for skills gap verification. So we enable, obviously, the ability to look at strengths and weaknesses and areas for further learning, and additionally, recommended pathways to achieve this. So we provide the ability to go beyond that typical pass-fail and provide a tailored but automated AI feedback that helps you to, continue the learning loop. And of course, giving you reassurance as well that during audits, etc., that generate reports and proof needed. And you can even conduct your own statistical analysis to understand how well questions are performing, to see if they are too easy, too hard, etc. And in terms of real world application and how we actually support our clients and where we fit, we do support clients globally in a variety of different industries. Of course, in the education space, we support a lot of universities, like I said, with formative and quizzes throughout the courses, but we really are there for that high stakes end of year certification. We can provide, remote proctored examinations that are AI content generated based on, textbooks or specific topics. We also are very prevalent in highly regulated industries. For example, finance, insurance, transportation, really any industry where jobs impact, life, limb, and livelihood. So anything where high stakes assessment is needed, like even oil and gas and healthcare as well. To give some actual examples, for example, we work with a leading insurance firm who originally approached Questionmark in order to assist them with, post-course knowledge checks and assessments to prove that the learning had taken place. So we really helped with that sort of job readiness. And obviously the nature of the insurance sector means that you need comprehensive assessments to meet compliance requirements, as well as ensuring that training is actually delivering ROI. So moving them to Questionmark allowed for a more enriched and integrated workflow enhanced with their LMS. So what we did was we enhanced, obviously, the standard features that are in an LMS with more robust and secure assessment, providing them with the ability to create multiple question types, to be able to provide high stakes security, like a lockdown browser whilst they're taking their test, but also at the end to be able to provide feedback that not only gives, question level feedback, but also recommending learning pathways so that they actually are able to upskill their employees. And then from that, they can focus on, where to allocate further learning resources. Additionally, we also work with some major airlines. Specifically, we work with an airline out in Australia that is offering a wide range of services like passenger transport, cargo, and it's recognized for extensive domestic and internal flight network. that's been around for many, many years. And this particular airline was facing challenges of how to effectively manage high stakes training. Obviously, this is such a highly regulated industry and the stakes are super high. So they needed to provide processes that are secure but flexible, that are also compliant, but also that are time saving, because, you know, cabin crew, pilots, etc., they need to be timely. And now what we've done is we help them support multiple teams. So the flight crew, flight operations, engineering teams. So for example, flight crew uses a training platform where pilots and cabin crew members need to comply with Civil Aviation Authority regulatory compliance audits. And so this makes them in dire need of, you know, test integrity and also having replicatable reports at scale. So we support them with multiple skills-based exams. We offer robust roles and permissions that help ensure compliance so that they're not able to so that they can actually prove that people have very little oversight, and they can, you know, assign specific managed access rules so that data is kept in a secure manner. And also with, you know, even flight simulator tests conducted via iPads. This observational piece as well is something that we really support with to help actually prove the competency and the skills as well as knowledge. Now, as well, one of our key values with clients is being able to support and integrate the current ecosystem. So being able to easily integrate with many LMS platforms where the training is taking place to provide a seamless one source of truth for customers, so that employees, you know, have an easy test-taking experience. So obviously, I've mentioned, you know, finance, aviation, education in terms of a lot of the universities that we work with that utilize a lockdown browser for secure testing delivery, but also really value the AI scoring piece, because this really helps save time. You can set up rubrics and score accordingly. And of course, like I mentioned, everything is human-centered. So the trainers, the professors, etc., all are the ones that have full control and full, you know, sign off for what the AI comes up with. So where does AI fit into our assessment cycle? At a high level, Questionmark allows you to create, deliver, and analyze assessments in the form of tests, exams, quizzes, and as I mentioned, observational. So if there's any performance tests where you need to rate employees conducting specific tasks, you can create over 50 question types, deliver proctored assessments via your LMS, and create many reports and dashboards to see, you know, high-level performance, individual performance, and even statistical question performance. So are your questions actually valid? Are they reliable? Are they testing to? And as you can see in the white boxes here, where AI fits into our workflow to support building assessments that are highly efficient, high quality, and human-centered. So firstly, we have our AI authoring tool that I'll cover within the creation stage. Then we also have coming soon our item bank health checker. So this validates some of your current content. Let's say you have a lot of content from back, it can review that and check that it's, you know, according to most up-to-date DEI rules, things like that. And then lastly, we have the analyzing piece, the AI scoring for essays and more. So let's jump in, let's have demos to discuss those key areas. So the first showpiece is the AI-powered authoring. So this content creation really helps you speed up the authoring process and essentially create high-quality questions in bulk. And as you can see here, you obviously create the questions, you review, and then refine. So I'm just going to go ahead and change over to a Questionmark tenant. And as I can see, here I am, I have my assessment. So as a test taker, I have multiple assessments that I'm due to take. I can see how those will be delivered, whether they are with, record and review AI proctoring, whether they are with a lockdown browser, and I can easily click start. And once I launch an assessment, now all of this can be fully tailored with your logos, etc. We can click start, and the first assessment with our new advanced assessments question types that I'll showcase is a financial assessment. So essentially, here we have a scenario and some data on the left, and we've been given some specific scenarios about specific clients that we are reviewing, and this is a risk assessment test for our analytics job roles, and we have some data on different clients, etc. So essentially, what we are going to do is we are going to rate in this question type, in your role as a senior analyst, rate what specific afford. So this is just showing types of questions that we have, over 50 question types, the ability to, randomize, and all of these were created with AI, for example. So for example, we can go through and see here, utilize the data, and we can see that we have, we can rank what transactions we think are suspicious, what ones look normal. So that's one question type. Another question type, which is more of a risk assessment ranking. For example, you in order reading the specific scenarios and looking at this data. Additionally, we have, this is a great question type. It is an audio player. So it basically will say to us a specific scenario. So the content will play, and it will go through and explain a specific scenario or a specific customer scenario. And then what we have to do is automatically the recorder starts, and we have to quick fire back with actual responses of how we would deal in this situation. So it's a time-consuming scenario. But additionally, with this recording question type, you're able to, for example, change where they can click record themselves. So if I just showcase this to you in a few seconds, you'll see that the audio recorder will start. And then we will be able to obviously submit our answers, which will also, coming soon, be available for AI scoring. So we can see that now our microphone's in use and we are responding to this question. So today I will show you our AI scoring of essay questions, but we will also be able to do AI scoring of, recorded video-based or audio-based question types as well, which can be really useful in customer service scenarios and things like that. Additionally, we have another sort of matching type question, and even more obviously typical multiple response question type, multiple response. We can see that we're able to check our answers here. So we can go ahead again and check to see if this answer is incorrect. We can see feedback to help us understand, and this really impacts the learning loop and helps continue the further learning. And you can also put a limit on how many times that they check the answer as well. And then additionally, we have, the ability to support multiple accessibility standards, add calculators, flag questions, things like that. And you can even review the question. We can see that we've answered all, etc. So now the next assessment, just to showcase some of the different question types before I show you how all of these were created with our AI tool, is certification assessment. So this is, for example, IT certifications. So as you can see, we also have added a split screen with some extra information for the test taker. We have bullet points as to recent, and you can see that you can add as much or as little content into the questions as well. So for you can ask them to highlight specific parts of text as a question type. You also can have drop-down lists. We also can have multiple drop-downs, able to rank and rate and segregate data. And this is a really cool question type. This is also the ability to plot graphs, diagrams, etc. So for example, we actually can live edit this diagram and provide this in real time. And then we also have some data points here where, for example, we can see a scatter plot diagram, we can answer some questions, and then also we have obviously a typical essay type question where we can AI mark at the end of once this is submitted. So a high level showcase of lots of different question types that we can create. And if I now just go to my advanced item bank, so this is me now as an admin. Obviously I've showcased the types of questions. We can easily add new. We have all these multiple choice, drag and drops, etc. Written and recorded, highlighting, drawing, maths, graphing, etc. Now, what we do in order to create AI questions is the ability to click on this widget and we can see we can generate items and also we can translate items. So if I go to question type, and I'll just click for now multiple choice, you can select how many questions you want. So you can really create bulk questions based on the same prompts and topics. So let me create 2 questions with, you can choose the value point for each item. You can pop in some source material to cover. So for example, I've added some UK framework information. You can decide whether you have a typical question or if you just like to use your own prompt or a specific topic as well. So it's super cool. You can add the prompt. So for example, I'm asking it to create a question based on the UK framework for financial analysts, for example. Now, additionally, what you can do is you can add your learning objectives and it will tailor to this. You can select if there's a specific subject, within the higher education space, chemistry, physics, etc. Grade, Bloom's taxonomy, depth of knowledge even. And then you can also select how the responses will be set up. So for example, we want 4 responses, 1 correct answer. And do we want to include feedback? So the great thing is that when we click generate, the AI tool literally goes through and creates the responses and the feedback. So at the end of the assessment, you're able to show what the specific feedback is for all of the wrong questions and the right questions. So as you can see, it's just generating there because I asked it to bulk create. But you can add, you don't need to just add specific text like I pasted. You can add PDFs, files, etc. So let's just see once that's generating. We'll just check that again. To see what we have created. Sorry, I'll just reload my screen there. If we click review items, we can view them. Okay, so here we go. We have, for example, this question type. We can see, for example, it's created the question, the response, and look, you can see all of the different feedback. You can add it to item bank. You can also, for example, edit and ask it to change the prompts, etc. So lots of different abilities once it's created. Let's say, for example, you can to make this more difficult or tailor this more to the South African regulatory requirements, lots of different things. So we can see we also have another question type, and if we just look, we can see all of the different feedback that it has created. So that is the AI content creation. And like I said, you can also translate as well, up to 40 different languages. So now that we've gone through the questions and the AI question generation, I also wanted to highlight, we talked about the AI scoring just then for essays, etc. The AI-powered scoring is a great way to obviously really save time and effort for your professors, trainers, when it comes to marking essays. So what it does is it obviously feedback. The AI auto creates feedback again, and leverages rubrics to basically tailor the scores to specific criteria that your professors set. And additionally, if I just launch a new assessment, for example, this leadership behavior exam, and we click start, we can see we have a standard essay question that will launch. So for example, when you're taking an essay, you can obviously write all of your responses, you have all of the formatting, etc. And what I'll do now is I'll just switch over once we submit this as to how it gets marked. So as a trainer and we'll go to results and evaluation tools. And basically what you can do is you can allocate your scorers, or you can allow it to be unallocated, whereas there is just a pool of essays that need to be marked. And for example, I can see here that I have 3 essays that have either started scoring or are ready for scoring. So for example, if I click on this one and I click score, I see here leadership question that we just saw in our question. I see the response that the candidate filled out with that. And then essentially what we've rubrics on the right. So we've asked the solution to look at the problem-solving approach, the leadership qualities, organization and clarity of the question, and also the writing mechanics. So in terms of problem solving, we want to, have 4 different dimensions: excellent, good, very good, not good, and then feedback. And you can essentially just click generate here. So the AI will, and you can see here, scored with AI. We can see that they marked this in terms of problem solving as excellent, and they gave specific feedback as to why this was excellent. So it reviews and then provides feedback based on the response automatically. So they demonstrated comprehensive problem solving approach with clear and actionable steps. The strengths in this response include systemic root cause and smart goal setting and project management tools. And also say that they could enhance by providing more specific examples. So this is the feedback that goes to your candidate when they receive their reports. And what's great is that I mentioned about being human-centered. Now, this really is the key. So similarly to the admin being able to edit the questions when creating content, here you can edit and say, actually, I don't think this is excellent. This will be very good. And I can add additional feedback here. Needs more analysis on X scenario, for example. So you really can allow your trainers to speed up the process by having the initial legwork, you can set the rubrics. We can go through and we can see all of the other dimensions, how it's rated us. So obviously we got a 2 out of 3 with that one because it gave recommendations. But in terms of writing mechanics, it's saying that this was excellent, the grammar, the vocabulary, etc. clear. So lots of quick and easy feedback delivered to the client, ability to edit yourself, and you can obviously edit the scores here. So this is the ability to create the AI scoring tool as well. And additionally, go back, obviously, as I mentioned, it helps keep SMEs in control. It's a human-centered approach. They are able to refine and review and edit the generated tasks. And also, as mentioned at the bottom there, it supports skills-based programs. So soon we will support, the live audio recording or video recording, and you can have AI to analyze skills-based, performance-based as well, which is something really exciting. This is really prevalent in the space of, transportation or even finance and insurance. If you have your customer service execs that need to be rated on how they are conducting a specific call or how they're selling specific quotes, you're able to look, provide them with the ability to record their responses. So it's a really time efficient manner. And the AI can auto review that for you. So many different use cases supported when it comes to the ability to create questions and obviously use AI to power the scorings. Now, next we have our AI powered item bank health check. So this is something coming soon that we're very excited about. Essentially, it accelerates of analyzing all of your current content and updating them. So let's say in terms of diversity and inclusion, you may need your content to be more up to date with pronouns, male, female, etc. You are able to ask the system to scrub up all of the current or outdated content. Additionally, you can add distractor rationales to all of your current content that you've already got in the system. And it basically helps to consistently keep your content reliable. It helps with scale. You can re-replicate questions, and you can also identify inconsistencies. And the system actually recommends exact fixes. So within our reporting framework, we are able to review questions to check how they are performed. Are they right, wrong? Are people getting these right, wrong? Are they too easy, too hard? Is the wording correct, etc.? And we do this based on the actual P-level performance of a question using statistical analysis. And then this addition to actually provide where you should specifically change the question and why it's not performing or why it's not valid is a game changer. It's really going to level up your assessment content. So as well as being able to create new content, all of that old content doesn't go to waste. You can keep refining, upgrading, and even ask to upgrade it with necessary up-to-date laws, regulations, etc. as your current content, for example, in the financial services industry, maybe related to old, outdated regulations and things like that. So our true approach when it comes to all of these AI-powered tools is to allow your professors, employees, admins to really have a more time-efficient process so they can process question content more efficiently. It can be more valid, more reliable, and deliver this at scale because you have more options available to you. And we really are taking out that initial legwork, but because we really focus on and emphasize the human-centered approach, they have the end say. They have the ability to edit accordingly. So lots of exciting things coming when it comes to the AI tools. So in terms of summarizing, I'll do you very high-level demos of our advanced assessment capabilities, the different question types you can create, demonstrations of our AI content creation at a high level, and our AI essay scoring at a high level. Now, we do obviously implore you to contact us directly for a more one-on-one, in-depth and tailored demo to maybe use some of your own content. That's something that we love to do is, let's get the AI scoring to grade your own assessments and let's compare it to how your professors are grading. And let's get some of your topics to create your own questions that would be suitable in your assessment so that it really is a tailored approach. I would love to hear from you to be able to have more one-on-one sessions. But essentially, to throw it back to the beginning of the session, we've gone through the impact it has on assessment strategies and why it's important to really have that human-centered approach. We've focused on real-world examples. So I've given use case to do with our finance client and our insurance and aviation clients. But as mentioned, we truly do support any regulated industry like oil and gas and healthcare, anything where you really need high stakes testing for skills and education, when livelihood is on the line and there are super high stakes as a result of the employees not being fully up to date on necessary laws, regulations. We want to really be risk averse, where you are able to reduce any threats of fines, any threats of, failing audits, etc. So as mentioned, the key is that AI needs to be human-centered, to be utilized effectively, so that your professors and trainers are very much at the center of the creation and the marking. We are not looking to replace them. And AI tools are truly impactful if they are fully embedded with your solutions. So having the AI tool within the assessment platform allows the seamless workflow, having a ChatGPT window open here and there doesn't allow for a seamless delivery, and it also doesn't have the context in terms of creating specific assessment questions, because like we said, AI is only as good as the inputs and prompts that you give it. So having it in an integrated manner deals for success. And then obviously I've showcased the different AI and assessment that we have, and how AI solutions do benefit assessment strategies. But it's really important, all of this being said, there is much more to an assessment strategy than just AI. And I've highlighted how Questionmark supports with delivering secure and robust assessments, and that the key to reliability and validity of assessments is being able to make sound data decisions based off robust reports that can help deliver true ROI. You really want to be able to see where candidates are falling short, their strengths, their weaknesses, so that you can reallocate efforts, money spent on the learning resources. And also lastly, before I hand over for our Q&A, I know I have a minute left, so I'll make this quick. But honestly, seeing all of the different markets represented in the chat today, I know that compliance and competence is key for you all. So I really do implore you to, leverage Questionmark or leverage AI tools within your assessment strategy to see how much you really can level up and get a strategic advantage against all of your other competitors within the market. So from me, a huge thank you. Thanks for sticking with me. Thank you for going through the high-level demos. And like I said, we really do look forward to having more in-depth tailored demos. I just wanted to give you a little taste of the different assessment AI solutions that we have. So thank you so much. Please remember to take this survey, get all of those questions in the chat, and I'll hand over now to Tyson to help moderate the Q&A.
Thanks, Chelsea, for a brilliant demo, and thanks for all that attended as well. So as Chelsea alluded to, we would really appreciate your feedback on the survey. It would take around 2 minutes to complete. We really value that as well. So now we can open up for Q&A. I've saved a question for you, Chelsea, that came in the chat. Does the AI in Questionmark automatically applies Bloom's taxonomy?
That's a great question. So you do have the ability to select the Bloom's taxonomy within the AI tool, yes. So for each different set of questions, you can have a different level of Bloom's taxonomy. I can even just quickly showcase here if I go to my authoring and advanced item bank, and if I create the question, let's say, for example, the multiple choice. Here you can see all of the specific criteria. So we have the depth of knowledge, but also the Bloom's taxonomy.
Sorry, Chelsea, were you sharing your screen?
Oh, sorry, yes. Here we go.
All good.
There we go. So once you create the question within AI, select how many question types you want, add the source material or the PDFs. Here we have the level of Bloom's taxonomy. So you can apply this to one question or to bulk questions. It's completely up to you. So it's very flexible.
Perfect. Keep that questions coming as well. We have a second one. Can the essay scoring check referencing format and validity?
So the AI scoring rates up to the specific rubrics that you input into it. So in terms of references, I'm assuming you're meaning that if they are referencing a specific citation, you're wanting the AI to check whether that citation is correct. We will have to take this offline and dig into this in a bit more detail just to check if that is what they mean. Because in terms of the sort of links and things, I will have to get more detail on that from the person who specifically asked the question.
Thank you. And we have another question. If we are a current Questionmark client, how does the licensing for the AI module work?
So you can definitely reach out to your account manager and they will work with you on some specific ways in which you can add this to your licensing. We are flexible in terms of how we add this to your licensing. So it's case by case basis.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Are there any other questions? Please post them in the chat. We would gladly answer them as well. Just opening it up. Will you be at OEB, Chelsea?
So I will not be at OEB, but I will be at the Federation of Awarding Bodies conference tomorrow. So I'm so glad that we got this in first, but unfortunately I won't be at OEB. Will any of the Impactful team be there?
Nope, not at the moment. Yep. Hope that answers the question. Any other questions that we can take as well? How does the translation work? I think that's a brilliant question.
Yeah, definitely. So essentially what you can do is you're able to add the question that you want to translate. So 1 second. I'll just go ahead and share my screen.
Yes, please.
Oh, can you see my screen?
All good now.
Fantastic. So when you click on the AI widget, you can see translate, so start translating, and essentially you can click any of the questions that you already have in your item bank, and you can decide, you can bulk translate questions at once. So let's say, for example, we have these test questions in here. You can click them, and then you can decide what language you would like to translate them into. And you essentially can bulk translate questions that are already within your item bank.
Perfect. Thank you.
And I will also say a lot of the time we do get questions with our AI content creation tool at asking if it supports RAG capabilities. So for example, this is just came out with recently, and we do support RAG now. So that's just a question that a lot of people do ask for. And also to reiterate that we do support bulk question generation. So when I was showing you the content creation, you can create like 25 questions at a time based on the inputs that you give it and the PDFs and things like that.
Wow, that's brilliant. And it boosts a lot of productivity, I'm guessing, as well. Perfect. Thank you. Any further questions before we close? Just check in the chat. Think we're all good. Cool. So in closing, I just wanted to mention that this webinar was tailored around AI. There's so much more that Questionmark offers, as Chelsea alluded to, around compliancy. It's just not a tick box exercise, and we would really love the opportunity for everyone on call to touch base and double down how Questionmark can impact your environments and organizations and industries. There's so much more for it. And I just want to send a special thank you to everyone on the call. Chelsea, you as well, for a brilliant demo again. And post this webinar, we would be sending out an email. You would have the recording link and the survey if you don't have time to scan it. Enjoy the rest of your week, and looking forward to further conversations. Thank you all for a great job as well.
Thanks, everyone.